what's happening, guys? Welcome to my review of the Amazing Spider-Man Flashback miniseries issue 700.5, which is the final book in this miniseries and our final opportunity to see old Peter Parker as Spider-Man once again. Well, at least until April, when Peter will be back with the relaunch of the Amazing Spider-Man series. Now, this final issue starts with Peter getting home and trying to get some sleep. Suddenly, Johnny Storm bursts into Peter's apartment and tells him that he needs his help to save the universe. Johnny explains that last night he had this weird dream in which Ben from the future visited him and told him to keep this thing called Kelvin device from Reed Richards until sundown. Now, according to Johnny, if Reed Richards gets his hands on this device, well, the universe will be destroyed. Peter, as usually, doesn't really take him seriously. Later on, Reed Richards along with the team come to Peter's place and Johnny, in panic, flies away, trying to hide from Reed. Now, thanks to a tracking device, Fantastic Four is now following Johnny, who, for some reason, heads to Mary Jane's apartment, probably because she's desperately trying to hide. Now, all of them meet at Mary Jane's apartment, who's not very happy that all of them decided to gather at her home, but anyway, they decide to wait the whole day until the sundown to open the bag. Peter finally decides to open the bag only to find a note from future Ben. It turns out that this whole thing was just a prank, and the story ends on a funny note. But the real highlight of this issue is the second story, which is called What Would Spider-Man Do? In this story, Spidey rushes to hospital to save a kid who's been shot because of him. Peter was fighting robbers when this boy appeared out of nowhere and tried to help Spider-Man. But as sad as it is, he got shot. He got shot in the back. Later on, we see Peter and Mary Jane alone in the dark at their apartment. They're basically discussing that Spider-Man is the one to blame for kid who got shot. Peter explains Mary Jane that he didn't need any sort of help from anyone, especially from a kid. He could easily dodge the bullets, but because of him and because of Spider-Man, the poor kid got shot. Now, the next day, Peter visits this boy in a hospital, but his visit is interrupted by boy's parents, who apparently blame Spider-Man for what happened. Peter agrees with them that Spider-Man is the one to blame, and he then leaves the room. Later on, Kid wakes up and asks Peter to come in. He tells Peter that he knows he is Spider-Man, since he came to visit him and spent hours with him. He also tells Peter that Spider-Man influenced him during his whole short life. The boy explains that every time he got in trouble or somebody else needed his help, he would always ask himself, what would Spider-Man do? Peter tells him that he is not a hero, but the boy shouts that he is a hero. Unfortunately, this shout and these emotions result in this boy getting a heart attack. Unfortunately, the poor kid dies. Later on at the funeral, the boy's parents give Peter an envelope, asking him to give it to Spider-Man. The envelope contains a comic book called What Would Spider-Man Do? And it shows Spider-Man being a true hero. Now, I really enjoyed this issue. The first story definitely lacked some depth, but it was hilarious. The humor and the way the story is written is just amazing. Now, here comes Johnny Storm telling Peter that they need to save the universe, and how Peter replies? Well, he tells him that he needs some sleep. That's the core element of Spider-Man, it's the comedy. We probably wouldn't like Peter as much as we do if not for his sense of humor and his ability to joke around even when things turn ugly. Another great thing about this story is of course Mary Jane and how she's portrayed. I mean, in this issue the artwork is spectacular and Mary Jane is a cherry on top of the cake. I mean, that's how you draw Mary Jane, the Romita style. Also, it's a great nostalgic feeling seeing both Peter and Fantastic Four teaming up once again. Now, the second story is hands down the best part of this comic. It's a very serious and meaningful tale, in which Peter once again learns that his actions inspire people around him and that he should always do what he does. Great issue, a must buy for every single fan and just casual reader. I give it an A, and I can't wait until we see old Peter Parker once again in April. Thanks for watching, let me know what you guys think, and I'm out for now.